Luckily for me, this engine's got some deep-rooted internal problems. It's gonna have to come out because the IDS lied to me. The screen we were looking at, so I had two codes that supported number 6 cylinder. Only one code for number 3. The relative compression showed number 6 down, twice as much as 3, and so pulled the driver's side down where number 6 resides, and guess what? No problems. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. So then I take the passenger side apart, and that's where the rocker bridge, had fallen into the head, and those exhaust valves weren't being opened. So these engines are bad about chewing up rocker arms. So suspected maybe that was a problem. I was hoping it was a problem. That's an easy fix. This one, not the case. Is these tips right here, they'll fall out, and then you just start galling everything up. But these are all in good shape. They're all there. They're all intact. They move very easily. There's nothing wrong with them. They're good to go. So this rocker assembly is fine. It's not the problem. Then we come over to the engine. So I made a slight error in judgment on this thing. What could I have done differently? To make it a little easier on myself. Number 6. Now, the next thing we can do is we can do a power balance, but I'm pretty sure number 6 ain't gonna be doing nothing. So let's just do a relative compression test. So I made a little more work for myself. No big deal. Didn't cost the customer anything. Just spent a little extra time taking the motor apart in the vehicle. I kind of had an idea this engine's going to have to come out and apart anyway, but it may have just needed rocker arms. So I should have done. I went against my own better judgment. Do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing. Relative compression test on a 6.4 is not accurate at all, and power balance is dead on the money most every time. So I could have done a power balance. It would have shown number 3 most likely, and I would have only took one side apart before taking the motor out and putting it on a stand. But live and learn. So, all right, and the push rods. So this is the push rod here. I took it out. I did the old pull cue trick, rolled it on the bench. It rolled nice and easy. It didn't look like a banana. So the next step, I want to measure the lift on the lifter. So I just simply took my largest roll pin punch I have for doing. I bought these for doing manual transmissions, and it's got a nice little nub on the end of it. And then I could put the nub right in the end of the O-ring hole of the push rod. And I've got a calibrated measurement here, and that I roll the motor over, and that's highest lift, and then the lowest point, highest lift and the lowest point, it goes into the head. And the number 3 exhaust push rod was let's see, a 1/4 of an inch lower than all the rest of the push rods at the highest lift. So we're missing a 1/4 of an inch of metal down inside the motor. We've got hang on. We're missing a 1/4 of an inch. So either the bottom of the lifter, the roller, gone. The camshaft's chewed all to pieces. Something's going on inside there, deep inside the engine. And one way you can tell, if they haven't changed the oil in a while, you can drain the oil. the drain plug's magnetic, and you look at it. If it's, you know, got metal shavings like that coming off of it, you can guarantee that the rollers, you know, the lifter's chewed up. So called the customer, and they didn't bat an eyelid. You know, pull it out, tear it down, tell us what it needs. That is what we're going to do.
Cuando las serpientes evolucionaron más rápido que muchos venenos. Noten la diferencia entre una serpiente venenosa y otra que no lo es por las marcas que deja.
1970, 1970, 1970, 1970. Nací un día de junio del año 77, planeta Mercurio y el año de la serpiente. Signo patente tatuado y en mi frente que en el vientre de mi madre marcaba el paso siguiente. Nacer, llorar sin anestesia en la camilla. Mi padre solo dijo es Ana María. Sí sería el primer llanto que me probaría, que mandó las heridas y dándome la batería. Solía ser entonces como un libro abierto, pero leí la letra pequeña del texto. Como un arquitecto construyendo cada efecto. Correcto, incorrecto, se aprende todo al respecto. Saber que algunas personas quieren el daño. Subir peldaño toma tiempo, toma años. Con mi peluche mirando lo cotidiano, dibujos transformaban el invierno en gran verano. Papá me regaló bajo mi insistencia un juego que trataba de compartir la solvencia, pero en el patio quisieron la competencia. Fue cuando sentí mi primera impotencia. 1970, 1970, 1970, 1977. No me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. 1977. No me diga no, que no lo presiento. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nació la serpiente. Mi adolescencia fue una etapa bizarra. El cuerpo es batería y la cabeza guitarra. La orquesta narra una tonada quebrada para la mirada.